Quick, go to scene 2. I don't know if that caught that in time. And I don't know if microphones worked. I haven't plugged that in forever. Let's find out. Oh, neat. I think it is picking up the microphone, even though I don't have a microphone queued up on. Oh, neat. I think it is picking up the microphone. Alright, well, I might as well just click that out. Wait, what is this? Alright, I'll give this a try. Alright, I'll give this a try. Alright, I'll give this a try. Okay, I think it's all been squared away. Not gonna say a whole lot right this second because I know nobody's watching yet. So I'm gonna wait and I'm just gonna start working. Alrighty then. I don't need that in. There's no audio. I might later. Do a down and dirty cut on this cinematic, just that way it's done, because we need to get another build out with a couple of those fixes in. Because the multiple Anna and I don't know.
Fixing the
I think the note.
picking up
Yeah.
note thing fixes in.
Neat. So if you've got, so in order to make particles work in a cinematic, you drag them into the level first, and then you add them to the track, and then you have to tell it it's a particle toggle, right?
Yep.
Well, I was just dragging out copies of the particles, and it looks like it added, every time I copied it, it added the new copy with the same parameters into the track, so I don't have to go back and do that every time for all of them. That's kind of neat. Turn off the auto activate. That's odd, there shouldn't still be going. Hey John Prex, how you doing? Just looked over and realized I hadn't been looking at chat yet. You staying warm on this blustery day? I hadn't turned my car on in a couple of days, and she had a bit of snow on her, frozen windshields. Her poor little battery was like, "Oh, start." It's kind of what it sounded like.
Alright, what's up? I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
I'm talking to Jalan Prex.
Oh.
I was just saying how my battery didn't want to start today. The Kia, although I'm very happy with it, I've noticed they don't put in the highest grade batteries, because in the wintertime, both of my brand new Kias, they get there, but they don't have the cranking power. Yeah, of like my Trans Am. Now that thing would start in any weather. I don't know if they put like magical batteries in that thing or what, but that fucker would start in any weather.
Well, yeah, that's weird that it's having such a trouble.
No class today? Well, that's cool. I was debating whether or not I wanted to come in, but I really have started to enjoy doing the cinematic sequences, and I didn't really have fuck all else to do. So I was like, you know what? Instead of laying on my bed like a lazy potato all day, how about I get something done on our... Ooh, I wonder if Douglas got that body drag animation in, because that was the other thing we really need. Oh, and the hoods. The hood size is fixed now, because you can't really beat stage... I mean, you could, in theory, if like everything went your way. You could still beat stage 2 right now, but you need to be able to trap him.
Yeah, I expect some of those that have played it over the weekend are the ones that we gave their like the full thing to,
Mhm.
they're gonna play it some more.
There was, I got an email. I was going to ask you if she was one of your friends. I just got an email from a company that I talked to at GDC last year about UI UX development. And I told him I'd think about it. He emails me once every 2 months to see if I still want it. I haven't responded in like 6 months since the last time I was like, I gotta think this over. But man, still interested? Buddy, take a fucking hint. I haven't responded to your emails in 6 months after telling you I was gonna think it over. Christine Eden. You familiar with her at all? Christine Eden. I'm a streamer, Croft Nation, and reviewer, Dark World Gaming. She's a friend of Nick.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And I guess she goes by the name Teeny. Any of that sound familiar? I mean, I'm going to send her a review key, and if she's got like Streamer Nation friends, then I'm going to definitely send her some stuff.
I have no idea. Did you look at where is her Twitch? Did you look at her Twitch?
I haven't looked at her Twitch yet. She didn't put her
It's probably the same as her name. Well, where did she message you?
email. There isn't a Twitch link. I will search for Croft Nation.
Emily was wondering if you could write her a...
Yeah, I'm struggling on what to say. Oh. All right. That's cool, John Pricks. I'm excited to have you play. So this needs to be... I need to... Yeah, definitely you want speakers when you're playing this. Jalamprex.
Who's that person that you mentioned?
Christine Eden goes by the name of Teeny. Croft Nation. Says the game looks crackin'. Dark World Gaming. She says friend of Nick's. I gotta assume that's
No, I know that.
Nick, like 42395, whatever he is.
Because I made the person as a different. Actually, let me see.
Ooh, she's pretty.
Because there are like a lot of people I talk to. I don't always.
Those.
Alright, people I have talked to, I just don't know everyone. Or at least not if it's not in context.
Why is this not doing what it's supposed to?
Yeah, I don't know if I know that person, but yeah, I mean.
I'm just excited to have people that are excited to play.
As am I. Like we had, like, yeah. So the more people that want to play, that's good.
Why
More people
are
can
you
add
not?
to a video compilation of people getting scared or getting annoyed or having interesting reactions. Body drag is what I'm going for.
Oh shoot, that reminds me, that's what I was
I keep
gonna.
on forgetting, but then I have to do that. So I'm like, dude, I keep on doing other things instead.
Jalamprex. He goes, I like how low rent the blood shrine is bathtub altars. Anna wants a temple of darkness but on a budget. To be
Well, we were
honest,
supposed to, like, when I originally thought up what we were doing, they were actually going to be like altars.
yeah, Paul
It
did
was-
want altars originally, but you know what the thing is this is just a shithole sewer, and you know what? I would be more worried if I was in a shithole sewer than like seeing polished, like marble countertops and stuff. I'd be like,
I wasn't thinking like that. I was thinking more like worn down rock or stuff. Like
oh well, you know what? Either way, I think I'd be more scared if I just saw a bunch of bathtubs and then some dude on fire in a different bathtub. I'd be like, this shit is fucked up. This is some ghetto ass Satanism going on here. Oh, I was gonna ping Douglas.
That's pretty funny.
Yo, Douglas. Burp. Do you happen to have those body drag and are you supposed to say Happy MLK Junior Day? Is that like...
I don't know.
Is there like an official greeting for today?
Most, yeah, people are probably off school, aren't they?
Yeah, Emma's got today off. Jenny took it off for a change, so... Alright, I gotta go look at something. Because this is not doing what it's supposed to. Auto activate is off. That's what I thought. Why are you being a dick? Alright, we're going to restart the browser. Douglas! Speak of the devil, he shall appear. Oh, it wasn't on the list. I think I had tossed a request out on it on Friday-ish. Yeah, it might have gotten lost in some of the Skype because I was typing a bunch of stuff. She is... so for the bodies being dragged, one hand reaching out, I can't tell if I can see that, hang on with my camera. So one hand is going to be grabbing the body, it's going to be attached onto the shoulder through a socket of the body that's being dragged, and she's just going to be dragging it. If you could give me a little bit of drag motion. You know, like she's pulling back and pulling back. And that's about it. The body's going to be made to be static. And the arms, legs, and head are going to be physics still, so those can flop around while she's dragging them. Oof, filling up that hard drive. I'm going to have to delete and do a pull on lunch.
Did you just do that?
I did it on, I was going to do it last week, but I didn't yet, because I hadn't committed everything yet.
Yeah. How that goes.
Yeah, Paul's going to stick a socket, or Paul's got a socket on the hand already, because if you take a look in the game when she picks up the skull, to make sure the skull was in there right. So we've got a socket on the hand, and we'll just stick one on the shoulder of the body, so that way it will just always attach to the same place. Correct. It'll always be in the same place every time. We were going to try and do stuff where you could like grab it by the leg or by the head or by the arm, and it's just it's doing too much, and it's not. Why on earth is that so small? That's the wrong thing. There we go.
Oh, and when I was saying adding different skull locations, that wasn't for different difficulties.
Oh.
It was for, and it wasn't supposed to like not random either. It's like, let's say you play the demo, you've beaten it, and you're like, oh, I want to play that again, but you know where all the skulls are. You have something where you can see it, where we could change the skull location, so that now all we like, it gives you the option to set up a like call it to be like new skull like basically so that they could play it again, and they'd have to search again, and then so that's what I was sort of thinking.
Yeah, I got you. The problem with that is like all the story elements are near.
Yeah, it wasn't a big deal. It was just a thought I had, and I was like, I'm not really sure if it
You know
really
what?
matters. So
You know what we could do? After we get everything finished, I could have just we could put it in, and it's just a different level where it's random every time. So you could keep playing through, and
that would like that's what I was thinking. Rather than making it like the thing is I could get a random seed so that like it selects these random seeds will make it so that although it will be random the first time you pick, that the next time unless you want it to be random again. That's later.
I'm gonna make that a green ticket.
Sounds good. So I was watching, was it The Conjuring, and it gave me some good ideas for like some sound cues and stuff.
Keep that decent number of that stuff. So I'm pretty, yeah.
Like sort of how, like, because there was one where it's like she's walking down the hallway and there's like sort of this bass background noise coming in, and then like right before she gets to the end, it stops for a moment, and then the door slams right in front of her, really loudly.
Paul's gonna be.
I was like, that's great. I like that. Because I was watching someone play Kate Must Die while watching it, so like sometimes the sound cue sort of went with what I was watching, or I was like, wait, is this in Kate Must Die or is this in the movie? You know, I have to like pause one, or mute one so I could hear the other.
All right, that's probably not a bug.
Yeah, and then the other thing was material to like. This is something I've been like. created a long time ago for like other scary games, and it's sort of like we could have the walls bleed, or like have a like as you walk down them, the material like flakes off or like sort of grows in, and it looks real.
That's cool.
So I can go from one to the next.
Why are you doing this, particles? You're pissing me off. Any idea why a particle... I've got it all set up right. These particles are auto-activating even though they're set up not to. Do I have double of them in there or something? Maybe it didn't like it that I was copying it into there first. No, it's not because I'm viewing them, because if you take a look what I just did on this other one, so this guy you'll see here auto-activate. If I've got that, so these particles are set to loop, which is fine, but you throw them into level, take off auto-activate, and then this level sequencer, when you put them into there, has an activate option for it. So when I get to a certain part in the sequence, it activates them. And for whatever reason, those fire ones are being auto-activated. Not even then, just they're starting activated, even though it says auto-activate is turned off.
Try closing the sequencer.
Yeah, I've restarted the engine.
Like, is the sequencer closed at the moment?
Yep.
Try it. Just try setting auto activate off. Make sure that's set.
Yep.
Then don't open the sequencer, but press play and see if it starts.
I see what you're saying.
So maybe that once you open the sequencer, that it's like overriding, like you're clicking something, and it's like, oh, we're going to be activating now.
Oh shit, Scott! It's because you're a freaking idiot.
Or that.
Is it? What freaking particle is that? Am I clicked on the right goddamn one? No. No, I am not. Okay, so where is that particle? There it is. God damn it. Disregard, everything is fine. It's just me being a dumbass per usual. It was very late last night when I was working on this, and I forgot that I had multiple particles in there because I was like, this one looks really cool, and this one looks really cool. I'll drag these in so I'll remember them. I mean, it worked as intended. I'm gonna get some more coffee. God damn it! I hate it when I'm so stupid. It's a fucking engine. The engine doesn't work. Engine is stupid. Nope, just me. Just me being dumb. My Empire Dirt. Man, I binged watched Rick and Morty all weekend. I must have watched all 3 seasons probably about 5 times. I love the shit out of that show.
Clearly.
I'm such an idiot. And the problem is they're both fire particles. So I thought I was clicking on the right one. However. Alright. So let's there's a one of the indie game groups that I'm in, they posted a screenshot of on Steam, recommended 139 hours on record. The review was, I died at the main menu screen. This game sounds hard. Alright, so now I gotta sort out which freaking particles I'm actually using. Alright, so they're all hidden now. That's smoky fire, not explosion. That's why. That's why. Add folder. Smoky fire. And we're going to stick all these guys. And add a new folder. This one's going to be called explosion. Because explosions were going to happen, and then it would be smoky fire afterwards. Scott, you big dummy. Why are you so dumb? I wonder if I can add more than one at a time to it. Ended up playing Risk on mobile with Pat a fair bit this weekend too.
How's that?
Really, actually good. Like, surprisingly good.
Yeah, I always, like, those games were always so long.
Well, the thing is, our longest game so far has been 45 minutes. Because you get 2 minutes to make all your moves. And like my buddy Steve, he played once, a couple times with this too. He didn't want to play originally because the last mobile Risk game he played, he said it took like 2 days to play. But this is, it's your turn, you get 2 minutes to do everything, and then it's the next turn. But it was quite good. They've got a little bit of a problem with, like, connection is a little rough at times, but because they disconnected, but it's not too terrible.
Kept on almost getting to platinum on that main account this weekend, and then to get a draw and then a loss, like literally every time. That's what happened. Like oh, we just like did so well on defense, and then our team can't attack for anything. Like, every time. That happened 3 times. I played for like 6 hours and get like 40 SR total. On my alternate account, my second account, I'm like 150 into plat. I'm already above there. While I was playing, I had a bunch of sick plays.
So Smoky Fire has been put in the right sub-level. Particle Explosion. Where are you at? Gotta put all of them in the right sub-levels. right. I'm gonna call this tub explosion. Let me save all these out. It's funny because you guys don't get to see my scratch track or the sequencer track. All right. So now that should work way better. Get rid of this. Oh, I don't know why. We should have. It did. No, those are right. Do I have them in? Alright, so they are there. Now I gotta find out. Oh, that is not about what I want. I keep forgetting to detach my camera from the camera crane, and so after watching the cinematic I'll try and fly around to look and fix something, but I'm still attached to the camera crane, and so it drags the camera to to where I was looking, and it completely fucks up the shot. I did that once so many times that I didn't remember because I was like flying around level to look at shit, and it just kept adding keyframes to everywhere I went. I was like, good, I get to start over. Because there's nothing I could do that could save it. I just had to go through and delete all of the keyframes. Alright, so tub explosion. Come to me, baby. Where are you at? Alright. Why are you in the ceiling? Okay, where's the other tub explosion at? I see why. That's interesting. Looks like I may have made an instance of it instead of a copy. Oh well. Either way, it works. Stick that on my view. Okay, so I need to get review keys for Teeny, Lindsay Jane. Is there any? No, I mean just handout keys for Lindsay Jane.
Oh, yeah.
Review keys for Teeny. I'm trying to think of who else. I don't know if I said I was going to give it to anybody else.
Did you see how many followers she has?
Who, Teeny?
Yep, or does it matter?
I can't find a Twitch on her anywhere. I found her game review website where there's they do have a number of reviewers and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
And that's obviously buzz that we want to start getting.
Yep. I mean, it doesn't really matter much. It's like small following.
Let's see. I can go to their Facebook. 300 on their Facebook.
This is all we really want now is just people playing.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, and that's more videos we can put up as well.
300 on Facebook, 600 on Twitter. It's a small company, but you know what? I love it anyway.
Yep.
Here's their YouTube. She said the game looks cracking.
Oh yeah, and that was the other thing. Probably, like, it's not a big. That was the other thing I was thinking about when I had thought about having that option to move things around. Is if you watch a stream of the game, if you like spent like an hour watching, you'd probably know pretty much what to do.
Yeah, but that's for any game.
That's
yeah.
what I thought. I was like, oh, that's pretty much anything.
Oh, you know, I haven't looked yet today. Has our esteemed President Cheeto said anything to embarrass the country yet?
Today?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I haven't heard anything yet. This MLK Day, I'm sure he'll do something.
Not seeing anything right off the bat. So if anybody comes up with anything that's particularly delicious. All right, so wonder how, because we're not going to be able to use these cinematics for VR version anyway, right?
No, that is correct.
So I can add camera shake to these if I feel like it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I wonder how you do that.
Oh, there's a camera shake. It's like just in the content browser, just sort of like you'll.
There's like Grodchok, Ekim, and Guinevere camera shakes.
All those are just like some values and for or something. It's probably missing. Yeah, if you just right click and create a new blueprint class. Yep, like that.
Let me go somewhere where I actually know where it is. Just stick it in the root of animations.
And then show all classes at the bottom there. Type in camera shake. Or camera, and just scroll down to the bottom. You'll see camera shake. Just click that. Select. And there you go. Test one out, and double open it up. You'll see the different values that you can adjust on it. And yeah, see the oscillate duration.
So I wonder if I just add that into level and then just play it on the track. Let's see what happens. Like, how would you test that out?
Now you can just start playing on the track. Or you can just use one of the ones that we already have if you just want to see if it works.
Yeah. We'll throw Grotchok's camera shake in just to see what happens. Oh, cannot do that actually. Can't put ecoms in. Alright, so you can't throw them in level. I wonder if I can add it to the track. No. Alright. YouTube, give me your secrets. A nice adding camera shake. Here we go. Alright, earbud, come to me. Give me your secrets.
Wes Spun, and I'm here with Gracie and Edge, and we are they're there and will, as expected, or may not work at all because it's not in there. Assets for you to work with, create an animation sequence, kind of slow down time here. I know there was a question about how to do translation, kind of like you saw there, the character jumped from one location to another. You can kind of take a look at how that was set up. It's basically using an animation track and a transformer track, so I'll show that as well.
So yeah, that did exactly what we wanted.
One of the other things we'll talk about too is cinematic process and
12 here because.
All right. So yeah, just kind of walk me through some of this stuff if I'm missing any of this.
All right.
But overall, I'm doing too much swimminess and velocity changes. So when you do a fly through, a lot of times what you want is a constant, nice, smooth velocity through a level or through an area. And so I'm going to show you one of the solutions we came up to fix those type of problems and to make it easier for the end user to create pretty smooth cameras. Another thing, this is just more context, but another thing you could do is instead of doing a fly through, you could always do some really pretty opening shots, establishing shots.
Yes.
Yeah. Attach a cinematic camera to it. You want me to show them how to do that, or is
You
that...
can if you like real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, and again, these are not going to be in 411.
Yeah, look at this
build
guy.
that you're working off of right now,
Oh.
and we are in 412.
BRB.
So I'm just testing out like
The drag.
Yeah, so I like just made it.
Nice. Well, a little less nice, but nice nonetheless.
I just wanted to, like, I just need to make sure it, like, the part of it, like, setting part of it to physics and part of it not work, and it works
It
fine.
does, yeah.
And I could see using that for something else as well. I don't know. Like, you can make it so they're like he's like trapped or like something else, like a zombie or something, is set up like that.
Paul is a freaking maniac over there. It might be a little outdated. They're talking about that this camera sequence won't be in 4.11. Oh, good. I'm sure everything is exactly the same.
These are the features that are coming. So this is kind of a sneak peek and let you guys see what it is we're working on. A lot of these features are going to be in the 4.11.
Oh.
Camera. Anyway, so what you do is you basically attach one of these cameras to here, and then you zero out the camera, and it'll sit on top of here.
All keyframed, yeah. So if you scrub through, it's all keyframed in the position of the camera. So I move the position, and then move the camera, and then keyframe, move, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
That was before the rail system came in. And
Yeah.
with the rail system, it's so much easier to achieve something like this. You don't have to keyframe it every frame. You put it on a rail, let it go, and then you keyframe the position of the camera.
Alright, well, how do you make a rail?
It's a lot
That's
easier,
neat.
and this is something that we didn't
What
show.
if that
at
feature's
the
actually in the
Thursday
engine?
show, so we can kind of show
Yeah.
how you would set it up. We won't necessarily replicate this whole thing here, but we can show you how easy to set something.
Top 500.
Yeah, and as he just said, I mean, he did this all through hand, and that's traditionally what we'll do. We have two methods. One, we key it all by hand, or we go into a program like Maya, and we create the camera in Maya and then import it in. And either one of those, can take some time. One of the new features we've got here is our rail, as a rail system.
Does that exist
And
in the engine?
we unhide that, yeah. So, just so you can kind of understand how these rails
Well,
work.
this
in
is
traditional movie
an
making.
older video, and I've never actually looked in the cinematic folder. Oh my god, there is one! God damn it. I suppose I should have watched a tutorial at some point. What? Actually,
Not just me telling you, oh, hey, here's how you can do it.
I know, right?
That's literally all you need.
So there's a camera rig rail that they put in as a feature where instead of trying to keyframe and keep it smooth, you can put a rail in that the camera just follows.
Yeah, that was it.
Nope, I don't. I never saw it before, so it's good to know. Here, I'm gonna see how it works real quick. I'm gonna set one out here. Watch, it's gonna like crash the engine when I do it. And it's just a spline is all it looks like.
Yep. Hasn't that? I could have sworn I told you that there's some sort of spline actor in there. You can kind of set it.
Ah, but who listens?
Where I told you that? I'm sure I did. I know I did. I'm sure you just were like, oh, whatever, it's fine.
Seems so unlikely, dude. Oh my god, it is a really good spline, too. Made setting up some of these shots so much easier. That's okay. Live and learn, right? I don't need to change what I've got in right now, so it's not a big deal. It just gives me more tools to do more things later on. Alright. So, that one problem is solved that I didn't have. Time to see if I can solve the camera shake one, because in the demo here they did show a camera
If
shake.
you want to do these, that work. Watch this one. Yeah. I can actually see this one a little better.
And I don't know if they're just like wobbling the camera on the crane or if there's actually a camera
And
shake
so now
actor that they're
we'll
using.
be able to see through. Well, when we jump back out of the sequence, we'll be able to see through the camera. Well, let's just go for it. Let's see the 16. 2.5. So let's just try 14. And then now we're at 2.5. Anyway, so you can play around with that. But you can kind of see how your aspect ratio in there is by default for performance reasons. It's disabled, and I probably would have done that. And that actually obeys that line of action. So it's just something to look up. but when you're making scenes, I think it's definitely worth learning this stuff. And then, you know, in real filmmaking, this is broken all the time, but there's usually a reason why the director or the group is, you know, making a decision to break those lines. And so, yeah, anyway, that's...
I'll say the other thing you can probably show real quick if you hop out of MLK and go to the cinematic perspective.
Yeah.
Down cinematic viewport.
Oh, our cinematic?
Yeah, this is not in 411. Did you guys show this last time? I
We
think
did.
You did? Okay.
We
Did
did,
you talk about like the lines and stuff?
Yeah.
So yeah, you could throw up the grid lines to kind of get the composition for rule of thirds.
Absolutely.
Things like that for setting up that shot, like that overhead shot. You kind of had it set it up along those two lines, which is
we can get back
something
there.
that I kind of tried to do.
No, it's cool. I think
yeah, so see, there were like one's on this side, one's on
Yeah,
that side.
yeah, absolutely.
And when you flip the camera, you kind of did that instinctively without even having these lines there. You set it up like that, so it's just kind of interesting to see that.
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
noticed
after a while,
you're thinking
it
about
gets
already.
ingrained
also
in your
true.
yeah.
You'd
your
stop
mind.
stroking each
Anyway,
other off
well,
for
yeah,
2
another
seconds.
point on it. Just try to look it up. Line of action, and I think you may learn a little bit about how your cinematics might be able to be improved. Do you mind if we jump back here just for a second? This guy here, again, which camera is that? Is camera 1? Okay, so I would say, and somebody taught me this a long time ago, and I think you'll see it a lot in cinematics. You've got a big monster, and you're shooting that monster from this angle. It looks pretty tiny. So if you take a camera, you lower it, and you put it kind of closer to the monster's feet or whatever, it's like you get a much bigger sense of that creature.
Yeah.
And then we're using the tool again here to kind of frame up, the shot. So anyway, that's just something I thought might be used, especially to younger guys who are doing stuff. The other thing we probably do is we try to stay, if possible, either straight on the character or a little bit over here on this side, because again, if you pull out, this is our line of action in between these two guys, but we're trying to stay in those 2 points.
Yeah.
For short cutscenes. Okay.
Cool.
And do you think it's time to look at the setup stuff next in terms of how this was like the overall scene, like these 2 shots?
Oh yeah, you can do that. Talk about that. Yeah. So from a workflow perspective,
I mean, we've gotten used to certain workflows, and I think there's some that work better than others, but there may be a case where it's like, this is a better workflow, so if it works better for you, great, it's cool. But one of the things we constantly run into in game development stuff is that like we've got a lot of people working on a single thing, and the more simplistic, basically exactly what we just said, the more simplistic it is to get in there and understand immediately what's happening, the better. And even if you're working alone, I think this is a pretty good workflow to consider. So we're using the master sequencer thing here for basically store all our shots, to store all the shots. And right now there's 2 shots that are stored here, but you don't see the actual cut, so it's hard. If I wanted to rearrange those, or I wanted to analyze just that shot, it's a little hard to distinguish where that's being, it's a little hard to figure out where that cut actually happens here. And so to remedy that, I think what we'll probably do is go in here, we could either split the shot, literally split the shot and modify it, or we can duplicate it. In this case, since it's already set up like this, this is how I probably fix it.
from a high level, it's the same.
Yeah,
but now you can see that.
Now you can see the different shots, which is yeah, it helps a lot. And then that way, if you're like, oh man, I would like like a couple more frames on the end of this thing as he's coming over, all you
independently without affecting each other's works. And there's a doc page I wrote on this. I know some scenes try
effects, audio, stuff like that, and everybody can work on
out this scene. Is accounting for animations where a character has translation built into the animation, and then following it up with an animation that translation is back into root bone. So picture you have a character kind of like walking forward a little bit. Now his root bone is going to stay, but the translation is built into the animation, so the character moves forward. However, when you queue up the next animation, if you wanted the animation to play at the in position of your walk, for example, the root bone is still back here. So when you play that next animation, the guy pops back to this position. And I ran into that a lot when I was trying to set this up. And there's ways around that. See if I can find a good example of this scene here.
What to do sometimes is use the animation.
So what's happening here? We have 2 animations. We have this animation where the character, purple here, charge start. It kind of bends down, so he takes a noticeable, but you can see that cursor there in the middle of this part right here. You see it jump to that position. This is what I was talking about. That was right.
And eventually, this I think will be much easier to blend.
Yeah,
that's our goal because we need it. Everybody needs it. So yeah, making a blend is going to be pretty important for everybody.
Yeah. This actually is going to segue into the other thing that we talked about. This came up as one of the.
Exactly like he's got it here. Look.
That was tip for Max.
Use this thing to do this.
Okay. Camera types and post effects. So we got a response from one of our engineers, Max.
You can always show us the camera animation stuff.
Oh,
we've got this really awesome new tool, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah,
because,
go for it.
All right, I'll
Camera
sorry,
animation.
yeah, it's something we should show because it is pretty cool.
We'll get back to the questions. Keep your questions coming. We'll get to them. Whatever we don't get to in this Twitch stream, we'll throw those up on the forum.
Where's this thing? Is this the shot where he lands? Yeah.
Yep.
All right,
Oh,
so,
yep, there it is.
So
This is what we want.
kind of set up what we're talking about here. In the past, when we wanted to show off camera animations that were like, for example, this guy jumps down, and when he lands, there's going to be an impact. There's going to be a little bit of camera shake. In the past, what we've done is manually hand key that, which you.
That's what I did.
It's
So like just kind of like a little shake.
Yeah, and that is still absolutely.
That's funny. So he says in the past what we did was we just manually keyframed a camera shaking. And I was like, oh god, I don't want to do that. Although it might be easier, who knows. Let's see
Which
what they've
actually, you can
got.
still do that if you're really good at hand keying stuff. You can do some fantastic stuff with that. That said, like what we're doing now is we have the ability to add a camera animation, literally just add a camera animation into the shot. So that all this stuff is you can either hand key it yourself in a separate, in basically in Matinee or Sequencer, and then you can also do it in Maya if you want to do it in Maya. And so you can have a library of camera shakes and camera animations that you can bring in. So if you want to have a library of explosions or whatever, you can do that. Or even I'm getting a little deeper than I probably should be here, but whatever. The other thing you can do is take you can mocap a camera and get the subtle ambient motion of the camera, and then you can parent that to, or basically just play on the camera. In the past, there was a very not complex, but there was a somewhat complex process of attaching all the animation to a camera to get it to look like handheld motion. And so this bypasses all the time setup on this, and you can just add animation really quickly. So
That's camera 3 we're looking at here.
okay, camera 3. And so I'll expand this out a little bit.
See my keyframes for the movement that I had.
Is that where he lands?
I believe so, yeah, if you scroll a little bit.
All right,
Just
cool.
moving up and down.
So that's pretty standard stuff for cinematics when if you don't have these tools to work with, you just hand key the impact. And so our new way of doing this, or one of the additional ways of doing it, is we can just go up here, it makes it a lot easier, and you just add a camera animation to it. And we'll pull out these tracks here.
And key jitter there.
And so you can see, this is the new one here. And then the other thing that's really cool about it.
Is that a thing? Do they have that already? Huh. Well, goddamn. Huh. Look at them people over at Unreal. So you can just attach a pre-existing camera shake to it. So I just add Guinevere's camera shake, and it just shakes the camera.
Yeah, that's what I was like, having you make.
I just didn't know how to get it into the sequencer, is the thing. Because, like, you couldn't add the shake to the level, and it was blah, blah. Neato Pukito. I'm sure if, like, that guy were to watch my sequencer here, he'd probably cry a little bit. Alrighty, so we got a lot going on here, and I don't have it timed out. I'm just trying to get, like, the... God damn it. Thank you, Windows. It's way too long. Alright. I think I'm going to end the stream and go get something to eat real quick.
Oh shit. Good. I did not know I was asleep.
Yeah, it's almost 1. I gotta figure out how to switch between cameras on this track too. It's not something I've done before. And that will not make for terribly exciting viewing. Alright, so if anybody's watching, I'll be back later.